Okay, everybody, I'm going to do a little review of No Man's Sky in VR today. I've been playing No Man's Sky for a while, and it's a really fun game. It's one of my favorites right now. And I play some VR games, and I've got some videos of different VR games, and I just wanted to do one on this one because not everybody gets a chance to see how cool this game looks in VR. It's a pretty game anyway, on a regular computer. But when you're in VR, I know you can't get the full scope of it by watching my video, but I mean, just look at how I can walk up to everything. You don't get this detail when you're playing on a regular screen. It's got some really cool controls. Menus now are on your hands, you can point to. Go to your inventory, you just point to everything. Pretty cool interactions. Quick menu, if you've played No Man's Sky, you know there's a lot of useful stuff on your quick menu. Summon your different machines, refill different devices. So you do all that with your hand controls. Your mining laser, you actually pull off your shoulder. And it also has some menus on it. So you can change its mode. All on there. You can also use the, I think it's the B button to change it. The game does give you a lot of different options for mobility. I know some people have difficulty with the motion sickness. I do not happen to suffer from that very much, so I've got everything just on smooth. I can spin and rotate. You can't change it to teleport and snap rotation if you want to. I personally don't do that. Cool thing though, if you're using the gun, now you actually aim with your gun. It does tell you what you're going to hit, but use your hand controls like a controller. Move it with the thumbsticks. You don't have to be able to walk around. This isn't really an active VR game. I'm sitting. So let me show you what it looks like in the Exocraft first. It's pretty cool. When you go up to interact with things, you just hold the grip button, which is your extra fingers, not your trigger finger, and then pull back, and you just hop right in. So in your Exocraft, you actually grab on the steering wheels, and then use your triggers to drive you forward and backward, and you actually steer as though you have a steering wheel, which is cool. The mining laser shoots where you're looking, so you can be driving one way and shoot your laser wherever you want. Collect all that good stuff. And what's kind of fun is when you want to get out of a vehicle, you actually grab onto the hatch and lift it open, and it puts you out. I think it's pretty cool. And then let me show you what it's like in your shuttle, your ship. Pop in there. So you actually have a throttle and a joystick. It is a little bit weird to get set up. It's not real hard, but I've found I sit down, I get in a position, and they've got it real easy in the options. You can hit recenter VR view, and if you just come in naturally in the position you're going to sit in, these controls might not be where you want them. So what I do is I'll kind of sit in a different position than I would normally. Like usually I want to be a little higher and forward, and I'll hit that recenter VR view, and then when I settle back into my seat, I just keep doing that until I get in a spot where I'm comfortable holding these controls, because it seems to me like it tends to put them kind of in my legs if I'm just sitting in a chair and I don't recenter in a different position. So that's kind of a tip on how to make them easy to reach. So now you work it just like a joystick, just like a flight stick. Work your throttle. You still have, well, not the options button. You still have the same type of controls you have with the, if you're using a controller or whatever. Got our lasers, cannon, new pulse engine, as you just saw there. But I mean, this just looks so cool in VR. I mean, look at, just looking around at the planets, it's amazing. We'll go up into an out of the atmosphere here. Get our boost. So let's go to the space station. We'll stop at the space station. Wrong button. Alright, let's stop at the space station. So still use your hyperdrive. Pulse engines. That's what it is. It's really easy to access your inventories in this. Actually, probably a little bit easier than it is normally, because you can just point at stuff whenever you want to do, right? If I want to make something. Alright, let's get into the space station here. This is like a derelict freighter right here by the space station. That's interesting. Oh, and it disappeared. That's different. It does skip the spinning of automatically going to the space station. I figured they didn't want to get people falling over in their chairs. When you come into the space station in VR and you play No Man's Sky, it kind of whips you around automatically. And interestingly, when you get out of your ship turns on the pad after you get out in VR. Normally, when you're not playing in VR, it turns before you get out. But I mean, look at how cool these ships look. Like, just walking up to this stuff, to me, is just incredible. Everything looks fantastic. You can walk right up to these guys. They just look so cool. Get so much more detail on everything. I don't like using steps. I never use the steps. I haven't even been to space stations. Just the whole atmosphere is so cool in VR. I really like that. Let's stop and talk to this guy. Let's see. So No Man's Sky, as fans know, it's improved greatly over the years. It's a really fun game, and it is equally as fun in VR. It's probably one of the best looking, most fun VR experiences I've had so far. It's just, it did such a good job. Now, I have to say, I spent a lot of time playing No Man's Sky, and I'm not going to be playing it full time in VR. Like, it's just too much. I like to, you know, just sit down on my computer. I use a controller for flight, and you just have a really good amount of control. It's a lot harder this way. It's harder to fly in VR, but it gives you that extra realistic experience if you want that. And, you know, sometimes I do. It's just really immersive that way, so it's a lot of fun. But I do spend a lot of hours not playing in VR, just playing on my regular computer setup. But if you already have No Man's Sky and you have VR, it's definitely worth trying it out. It's just a blast. Here, let's see. Over here and land on my freighter or my frigate. Usually have landing stations. Maybe. This one doesn't appear to have a landing station. Maybe it's upside down. Non-directional space stuff, you know. There it is. Won't initiate landing. Oh, I'm inverted. I have to flip over or it won't land automatically for me. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Getting a little closer. There we go. So if you haven't been on any frigates in No Man's Sky, it's pretty cool. You can go out here. Sometimes you have to repair stuff on them. Obviously, I don't need to now. I just thought it'd be cool to check it out. Because VR, it's cool to check everything out. You got all these decks you can walk around on. Just look at it, there's a planet above me. Like, vast nothingness below me. Really cool. Well, thanks for checking this one out with me. I highly recommend playing around, at least to some extent, in VR and No Man's Sky. It's just a blast. Everything looks amazing. All right, enjoy your VR day.